Hello, everyone, and welcome to our DAAD webinar series. Today, the topic is Studying Humanities and Social Sciences at Erlangen and Nürnberg. And not just Erlangen and Nürnberg, the university is Friedrich Alexander University. Today, I'm your presenter. And if my PowerPoint presentation moves forward, there we go. So my name is Hanni Geist. I'm the DAAD Information Officer in San Francisco. And with us today, I'm very delighted we have Dr. Ruth Maluszek. She's the Internationalization Coordinator at Friedrich Alexander University in Erlangen in Nürnberg. And before we actually start our webinar, I would like to know who you are and what you do. So I would like to start a brief poll, and I would like to know who you are. Are you a study advisor or an advisor? Are you a professor or teacher? Are you a student? Or do you not belong in any of those categories? For example, if you're currently working, but you're interested in getting another degree. All right, so far we only have students, and we have a study abroad advisor. Perfect. Now, the second one that I would like to do is, what are you interested in? So are you interested in a bachelor's program, a master's program, maybe even a PhD program, or are you currently only interested in study abroad opportunities? All right, great. So looks like we have okay, 50% bachelor's programs, then we have master's programs. We have someone who's interested in a PhD program, and also someone who's study abroad opportunities. So we have someone from each category. Perfect. That's very good to know, and also I think that's very good to know for our presenter, Dr. Maluszek. Now, what are we going to do today? Today, I will briefly introduce to you DAAD if you're not familiar with our organizations, and then I will talk briefly about the scholarships and grants that you can receive studying at the Friedrich Alexander University Erlangen-Nürnberg. There we actually jump right into our main content for today. We will have a university overview. We will talk about the degree programs in humanities, social sciences, and theology. And very important, we will go into detail about the application process, about campus life, costs, and Dr. Maluszek will also talk to you a little bit more about the Nürnberg and Erlangen region if you're not familiar with it. And then we will have plenty of time for Q&A at the end of this webinar. So if you have questions, on the right side on your panel, there is a question box, and you can ask me questions during the presentation, and I will collect them, and at the very end, I will ask those questions for you. So before we start with the presentation itself, I will, of course, share these slides with you. I will write a follow-up email to you and we'll send you the link where you will find the PDF of the DAAD presentation as well as the presentation that Dr. Maluszek will present. And I actually record this webinar so you can take a look at it later again as well. And of course, we will share our contact information with you, so you are also able to get in touch with us later if you have any questions. So you may have noticed you're all muted, but I already mentioned that you have the opportunity to get in touch with us through the question box, and I encourage you to do so during the presentation when questions arise, and we will ask those questions at the very end of the webinar. Now, what is DAAD? DAAD is the German National Agency for International Academic Cooperation and Exchange. And what we do is we provide scholarships and grants. I think that's very important for the students listening. There is plenty of opportunity for you to get funding, but we don't just offer funding, we also offer information and counseling about studying and research in Germany. Besides that, we offer also support for internationalization of German universities and promote the study of German language and culture abroad. And just for you to get a sense of where we are located, we do actually have 70 offices worldwide. The offices in the US and Canada are the New York offices, which is the main office. And then we have information centers in Toronto and San Francisco. And the New York office is the office where you will send your paper applications. So most of the applications are online nowadays, but there is a component where you will have to send your application to the DAAD office, and that, in the case of the North America applications, will be the New York office. Now, why study in Germany? I am sure you all have your individual reasons why you would like to study in Germany, but I would like to elaborate a little bit more on the aspects that I think are very important. First of all, there's a high quality of education. You may have heard in the news also that there are low costs for getting a degree in Germany, for studying in Germany. Most universities are free of charge, and in fact, the public universities do not charge any tuition fees. What they charge is a service fee, but this is between maybe 150 euros and 300 euros. And 300 euros at this point are maybe $350. This, of course, changes, but just so that you get a sense of, when I talk about the grants that you can receive, how much that actually is in US dollars. And when you look at the cost of living, a lot of the major cities here in the US are quite expensive at this point, but even major cities in Germany, when you compare them, are relatively inexpensive, especially for students when they decide to do shared housing. And then also something for you to know is that when you work on a degree in Germany and you are on a student visa, after you receive your diploma, your degree, you are able to stay in Germany for up to 18 months and look for a job in Germany. So there are great career opportunities, and there is you have the flexibility regarding the visa here. And then, of course, there's very interesting language and culture and social life. And if you are concerned about safety, then Germany is a very safe country to study and to live in. Now, DAAD scholarships. What do we fund? We fund study abroad, we fund internships and thesis research. We offer scholarships for students in all fields. German knowledge is not necessarily required. It really is only required if it is required for the degree program. So if you're interested in getting a degree in English, then for the scholarship, you don't have to prove any German knowledge skills. But of course, it is to your advantage if you know a little bit about the language, because if you know about the language, you also learn about the culture, and this will be make it a lot easier for you to fit in and to really be part of the German community. What we also offer is health insurance and some travel reimbursement, and for some scholarships and all grantees meeting as well. Now, the undergraduate scholarship is for those students that are currently enrolled at a U.S. university, and we offer these scholarships for students to do one semester at a German university or an entire academic year, and you will receive 650 euros a month, plus health insurance and travel stipend. And the next deadline is January 31st, 2016, and please keep in mind that this deadline is for the scholarship for the fall 2015, but also for the spring semester 2017. So you have to plan ahead if you're interested in applying to those scholarships. And as I said, you will find more details on our website. The application is online. This is particularly interesting if you are interested in getting a master's degree in Germany. The study scholarship for graduate students is available to those who wish to do a master's degree at a German university. It can be a degree that's offered in German or in English. It can be any field, so it doesn't necessarily have to be evolving around Germany and German culture or language. And this is the support for 1 or 2 years. So you will receive the funding for 1 year, and if you succeed in your first year, then you will be granted another year of DAAD funding, and you will even get a little bit more than what you would get for the undergraduate scholarship. You will get 750 euros a month. And the deadline is coming up here soon, November 4th. So if you are interested, please apply soon. And you don't have to be already enrolled, and you don't even have to already have applied to the university. You will just, in your study proposal, if you write it, you would only say what you theoretically would like to do and where you would like to go to. The scholarships and grants, all of them that are available also for PhD students to receive a PhD in Germany or to do some research in Germany, you will find on the DAAD.org website under the scholarships and grants tab. And of course, if you are not certain of where you can find the scholarships, you can always get in touch with me, and I'm happy to help you. And this is already my last slide. If you are interested in updates on events, webinars like these, upcoming scholarship deadlines, not just through DAAD, but also other opportunities for funding, like us on Facebook, DAAD North America, or get in touch with us via Twitter at DAAD New York. Now, with that, I am already done with my presentation, and I would like to actually hand over the microphone to Dr. Malashek.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Geist. Welcome from Europe, welcome from Germany. My name is Ruth Malashek, and I'm from the International Office of the Faculty of Humanities here in Erlangen, Nürnberg. I am glad to be with you. I'm glad that you came. Thank you for being here. Thanks DAAD for organizing this webinar. So I hope you can cope with my German English. I hope very much that you can understand me. So let's start. I would like to start with a glance on our university as a whole, Friedrich Alexander University, Erlangen-Nürnberg. It's one of the big universities in Germany, one of the important ones. We have connections everywhere in the world. In fact, Erlangen and Nürnberg are part of Bavaria. It's in the heart of Europe, and it's very easy to get to the capital cities elsewhere in Europe. Here you have the shape of Germany, you have the shape of Bavaria, and the red point. This is Erlangen-Nürnberg. It's called the European Metropolitan Region with 3.5 million inhabitants, a quite rich region, as Bavaria is one of the most affluent regions, not only in Germany, but in Europe as well. You have a first impression of what Erlangen is. You see our Schloss, our castle. The Schloss is in fact the nucleus of our university. The university was built 300 years ago. The Schloss was there already, and it's in fact the administrative center of our university until today. We have some institutes, some faculty life in Nuremberg as well, which is the bigger city. As you might know, here you see part of the city wall, middle-aged city wall, combined with a part of our. So as I told you, it's quite an affluent region, and that's one of the reasons why it is So it's we have lots of industry here, and quite a lot of global players among them, like Siemens or Bosch, Daimler. You know those names. VW is here as well, although not with a headquarters, but lots of them are here with headquarter as well, like Schaeffler and Adidas. So this might give you a first hint about job opportunities that are not only interesting for technicians or economists, they are interesting for humanities as well. So our university, FAU, shortly, is one of the top 10 German research university. It has almost 40,000 students, 5 faculties. To one I will introduce a little closer afterwards. 23 departments and 656 professorships. These are our faculties. First of all, my faculty of Humanities, Social Sciences and Theology, the faculty of Business, Economics and Law, the faculty of Medicine, which is quite big as well. We have the Medical Valley here, faculty of Science and faculty of Engineering. So let's go to the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. That's the faculty I am representing. You see the building of Orangerie. There our theology and art history is located. We have in fact 2 locations. The whole university has it. Our faculty has it. Most institutes are located in Erlangen. You see it on top. But some parts of our faculty are located in Nürnberg, like Department of Didactics, Pedagogy, Psychology and Sport. You have a first view of Erlangen on the right side. Unlike other cities around here, it is not in Middle Age shape. It's founded in Baroque time, and you see it. Unlike Nürnberg, it's a big city, 500,000 inhabitants, and it still preserved its Middle Age character. So we are one of the largest faculties within our university with a wide range of disciplines. There is little that you can't study here. There is something, but in fact we have a wide range, of disciplines. Multidisciplinarity is typical in teaching and research, and we have some degree programs taught in English that I will introduce you a little later in detail. Our faculty numbers, we have about 10,000 students and almost 700 teaching staff, so that makes a ratio of 1 to 12 students teaching staff. Our faculty consists of 11 departments, and 32 institutes are part of those departments. And besides that, we have 14 interdisciplinary centers that concentrate on research mostly. So here you are the departments, 11 departments with approximately 50 disciplines ranging from classical world, Asian cultures, education, psychology, sports, and to the School of Theology. And these are our research centers that are belonging to or are associated with our faculty. They are all interdisciplinary, and they somehow mirror the research priorities of our faculty that can be named as area studies, religions, and education. And here we are, our interdisciplinary centers, interlinking chairs, institutes, and faculties of our university. They range from media studies, again, classical world, cultural education, gerontology, and to literature and science. There are 4 big research clusters situated at our faculty. They are all financed with third-party funding by our Federal Ministry of Education and Research or by DFG, which in fact is our German research foundation, the biggest one in Europe. Our faculty is not only strong in research, it's strong in teaching as well. Research and teaching are strongly interlinked, and teaching benefits from a 300-year-old university tradition. We have strong connections within the region, within Europe and worldwide. And there are several university collections belonging to our faculty. We offer some double and even joint degree programs, some of them in English, and a wide range of classical and interdisciplinary programs. And last not least, we offer strong support for our students. The faculty offers quite an international work environment with about 200 partner universities in more than 40 countries worldwide, with many international collaboration projects, with the largest language center in Germany, with the Bavarian University Center for Latin America, and with Confucius Institutes located in Nürnberg, the one which is dealing with China, Cultural Institute of China, if you don't know. We have about 500 students from abroad. We welcome you. We have about 90 doctorate candidates from abroad and about 60 researchers from abroad for the moment. There are 10 international bachelor and master degree programs and 7 English degree programs with around 160 students. So this is what we offer for our international students. There are orientation weeks for international students, doctoral candidates and researchers. There is a broad range of intensive German courses. There is a welcome center which is dealing with researchers. We offer buddies for international students. We organize tutorials, and you always find some excursions, a rich cultural program and social events around. So before I introduce you to our degree programs, let me first tell you some principles of studying in Germany you might know already. Our bachelor studies normally take 3 years, our master studies 2 years. You normally get 180 points for your bachelor as a whole, 120 for your master. I will introduce you to this ECTS points in a minute. There are no tuition fees, as you heard. Winter term starts at October 1st. Practically, lectures start mid-October. Summer term starts April 1, but lectures again start practically mid-April. Application is possible from March onwards. Deadline is July 15 for winter term, but most programs start in winter term actually. The requirements roughly for BA study is your high school diploma, a language certificate, and 2 years of study at home, or 1 year so-called Studienkolleg in Germany. For your master, you just need a bachelor degree and a language certificate. So let me tell you some words about credit points. ECTS, this is the European Credit Transfer System. It's valid in the whole European Union and beyond, in fact. 1 credit point means 30 hours of workload, and you normally get 30 points, ECTS points, a semester. So 6 semesters will make 180 points for a bachelor degree, including your bachelor thesis. 1 module of study might contain 5, 10, or even 15 ECTS points. One module contains lectures and seminars, maybe tutorials in varying, it varies. Maybe 2 seminars, 1 lecture, or 2 lectures, 1 seminar, or whatever. Just to show you an example, this is the list of modules from our degree program Las Americas, the Americas. It's in German and in Spanish. I hope you understand a little bit. So let's look at this basic module 1. Here you have 2 lectures and 1 tutorial. And you get 15 ECTS points for that. This module is offered only in the first semester, and in the second you will go on with other modules, just as an example. There are some language requirements, as you can imagine. International degree programs taught in languages other than German need any certificate on level B2 or C1. This level is our European, excuse me, I have to look it up it's our European framework of reference for languages, so it's a European system of level. So any certificate. For the majority of degree programs taught in German, you normally need DSH2, which is our normal language proficiency test. You pass it on spot here in Erlangen. You can pass it everywhere in Germany, but you pass it in Germany. If you don't want to come to Germany to pass your language test, you can pass test stuff in the US, and you need 4 times 4 to pass our programs. If you don't have test stuff, Goethe certificate does it as well, but it has to be on level C2. This is the highest level. So just an overview of our degree programs. We have 33 bachelor's program, mostly 2 subject combinations with 3 choice of subject combinations. There are more than 300 possible combinations, and there are some 1 subject programs. We have 36 master's programs. Master, that means advanced studies and a specialization in your subject. Lots of master programs have an interdisciplinary approach that's typical for our university, you can tell. And there are some traditional programs like state exams for teachers and church exams. You can take part in them, but they probably are not so interesting for you. So let me, last but not least, introduce you to some concrete degree programs, those that we call international. We have 3 bachelor programs with a double or even joint degree. Our bachelor in studies in literature and books, that is a German-French cooperation. We have a BA in German language and literature that offers a double degree with the university in Spain. And if you study Hispanic studies in Erlangen, you can do a double degree with this same University of Sevilla in Spain. And as those 2 last called degree programs are 2 subject combinations, you might just combine them. And here are our master programs taught in English. They are completely taught in English. Our very popular development master in development economics and international studies. It's an international master program at the interface between economics and politics. It offers a double degree with universities in Iraq. Our master physical health and activity as well, very popular with lots of international students. It's an international master programs at the interface between public health, rehabilitation science, and health promotion. Our master in human rights, it's an exception. There you have to pay tuition fee because it's continuing in education. You need a bachelor degree to pass it, and 1 year of professional experience at last. Our Master North American Studies, it's a research-oriented study of the US, Canada, and the Anglophone Caribbean. And our Master in English Studies in the branch of linguistics, it's studied in English completely. In the branch of literature, it's partly studied in English and taught in English. Our Master in the Americas, Las Americas, which combines studies of North and South America. That's the interesting thing about that. It's a unique combination of interdisciplinary comparative studies on North and South America. Course language is Spanish and English. And last but not least, our European Master in Lexicography, MLEX. This is an international and interdisciplinary degree program in cooperation with universities in Italy, in Hungary, Poland, France, Portugal, Spain, and South Africa. It offers a double degree for the moment. It offers, from next year onwards, a joint degree within the program of Erasmus+. Course language is German and English, 50-50. For this degree program, scholarships are available because MLEX is funded by the European Union within this program of Erasmus+. Erasmus+ is a funding program for degree programs that offer partnerships with other European universities, and students are studying in at least 2 universities within this partnership. So for those of you who are interested in doing a PhD abroad, a PhD usually needs a master degree. So prerequisite to do a PhD in Germany is a master degree. Typical for doing your PhD here is the individual design. But we offer some structured PhD programs as well, and I listed them here. They are quite wide in their subject range, so I guess you find one program that fits your subject. So a few words about the individual design. That means that you first of all find yourself a supervisor, a professor who is ready to supervise your work, your research. You write him, you ask him if he's ready to be a supervisor or if he can advise you, somebody else, if he has no time, something like that. And you send him, in this first contact by email, you send him your abstract and your CV that he knows who you are and what you want, what you are interested in. And when you get a written confirmation of this person, you can start organizing everything else, your visa, maybe your scholarship, and so on. As a second step, I recommend you to register in our database of Graduate School of FAU. This is not compulsory, but it's just a service that we offer. When you are registered, my colleagues from graduate school will contact you and help you with any question you might have. So let's recover a little bit from studying, from doing research. I will introduce you shortly to the region we are living in. Erlangen and Nürnberg are part of Franconia. Franconia is the part of Bavaria we are living in. And typical for this region here is Franconian Switzerland. You see the stones. This is not the right word. I excuse myself. It's quite a rocky region, and you can do wonderful climbing, and you can do canoeing on our little rivers, like Altmühl. She's quite famous. And you have the romantic road going through this region with all its middle-age romantic towns. One example you see on the right, it's in fact the city wall of Nördlingen. And just to show you that this is really in the vicinity of Erlangen and Nürnberg, here you are. It's in the rectangle of Erlangen, Bamberg, and Bayreuth. If you like music of Richard Wagner, you might know Bayreuth, and Bamberg is another middle-aged town like Nürnberg. So here you have Franconian Switzerland and some pictures from cities at the Romantic Road. In fact, from Rothenburg of the Tower, which probably is the most famous one, saved by an American general from bombing in World War II, and Nördlingen again. Something about our food. We love meat. We love dumplings. This is traditional food, but you can get anything else from everywhere in the world, especially lots of Mediterranean food, so you don't have to eat meat if you don't like it. And just as an example for seasonal food, our gingerbread, the famous Nürnberg gingerbread for Christmas time. So, some words about the living conditions. When you start studying or do you research at Erlangen-Nürnberg, you might want to live in a student residence. You have the opportunity, or you might want to live in shared housing. There is a special offer from the city of Erlangen. It is called Wohnen für Hilfe, living for help. That means you don't pay anything for housing, but you have to help the person you're living with. And normally it's an old person, and you have to be the social type because you probably need patience with the person. But it's a great opportunity to live cheaply. That's why I introduce you to this as well. If you don't find yourself a flat right away, you might use temporary solutions. Especially Erlangen is quite crowded at the beginning of the semesters, so you might choose Mitwohnzentrale Erlangen. It's an office offering you temporary living opportunities, like in a furnished flat for 2 or 3 months, something like that. Or last not least, Airbnb. Student residences are only with single rooms, normally with shared kitchen and shared bathroom. They are equipped with washing and drying machines, but they do not offer towels, sheets, blankets, or pillows, and you don't find crockery or cutlery. So that are those things that you have to bring your own. Just some words about the living costs per month. It might be around 800 euro. It might be a little less. But this is such a realistic sum, and it contains of rent, food, clothing, transport, and so on. Just some words about the rent, plus minus 300 euro per month. It might range from 180 to 350 euro in a student residency, or from 200 to 400 euro a month in a private apartment. It might be a good deal to live a little outside of Erlangen or Nürnberg, because those cities are really crowded and the flat offers maybe a little more expensive than in the vicinity, and we offer you a semester ticket that gives you the opportunity to use transports freely in the whole region for about 260 euro a semester. So this is really a cheap opportunity to ride freely by bus and train and to live a little outside. That might be a good idea, but that's certainly your choice. You might know that students from non-EU countries, so that means you as well, may work 120 full days or 240 half days per year. So that gives you the opportunity to earn a little money. You might be interested in this question, how to apply to our university. Normally you apply directly, except in the such subjects like medicine, but this does not concern our faculty, our offer. So fill in the application form and print it out, and add the documents as I wrote them. For bachelor degree, you need your high school diploma. Certainly not the original, but an officially certified copy. A certificate showing you have passed the assessment examination here in Germany, the so-called Feststellungsprüfung, or those special tests that the US offers. You might be acquainted with them, with scholastic assessment tests, with the American College test, the advanced placement tests, one of those three, and a proof of proficiency in German. For master, you need just your bachelor degree and again a proof of the proficiency in German. If you're interested in a BA study, send your application to the FAU admissions office. I noted you the address. If for master degree, send your application via Move-In, which is a database, and to the master's office, so in hard copy and online. Application deadline is July 15th, but some master program offer different deadlines. And applications, as I mentioned, are accepted from March. So just to have an impression of what the application form is looking like, it's the blue one on top. And for master program, you apply online on Move-In. Just type Move-In and Erlangen and you will find the address right away. So just to give you a short overview about our services, the gold one is the one of our faculty with my email address written on it. And our university in blue offers several services for students and researchers, as I already mentioned. You might want to get our FAU app. You are free to do it, or you can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. The address in blue, FAU EU, is the one in English. If you type DE, it will come in German. Our faculty homepage, unfortunately, is in German completely. We are working on it. Only the offer of international degree programs is in English. So the most important information you find in English there as well. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward for your questions.
Thank you, Dr. Maldoszek. I will change back to my slide. There we go. And this way you also have our contact information and our faces, so you know who you're talking to. So I have one question already, and I encourage you to ask more. One question that I received was, can you share how many scholarship applications DAAD receives versus numbers awarded? That really depends on the scholarship. We have, for the undergraduate scholarship, about a ratio for 1 student out of 4 who apply receive a scholarship. For the study scholarships, it's maybe 1 out of 8, 1 out of 9. And it's similar for the grants that we offer to researchers for PhD students. However, this really changes based on how many applicants we have and how many resources. DAAD is funded by the German government, and we're dependent on the resources that we're received through the ministries. And so this may change, but usually we try to have a pretty stable ratio So for undergraduate, it looks a little better than for graduate students, but overall, students who put together a well thought of application, and if they start early, and if they have really a purpose in Germany, if they, as Dr. Maloszek also talked about earlier, if you've been in touch with a professor in Germany, if you know exactly what you would like to do, and you put that together in an application, then your chances are pretty realistic that you actually receive it. So I hope that kind of answers your question. We're always a little reluctant to give you specific numbers, but I hope that um, illustrated a little bit more how um, accessible those scholarships are. I actually have a question for you, Dr. Maloszek. You said that it is required to prove that you speak German. Now, is this also true for all the programs that are offered in English, the international degree programs, or is this really only a requirement for the for those degree programs that are offered in German or in German and English?
The second is true.
Hmm.
So for our English-speaking, English-taught programs, you don't need to have any German certificate.
Hmm.
It might help to live here to have some knowledge of
Yeah.
German, but the English-taught programs don't need any German certificate.
Hmm. Okay. Um, Any questions from our audience? Yes. For the summer university grant, the DAAD website requires online submission. Does this mean a digital copy of transcripts is required as opposed to a sealed official copy sent by post with the application? Um, so yeah, follow the instructions that are online, but for the summer university grant, also the application goes to the New York office. So you have to apply online and then print out a summary and then send that to New York office. But if it's not specifically mentioned on the site, it doesn't have to be a sealed official copy. So that was a DAD specific questions. Are there any, this is your chance to talk to someone from the university who can give you a lot of information that you may not find easily on the website, or that you would like to know about being a student in Germany, being a student at the university. Are there any more questions for Dr. Maloszek? Is there maybe anything else that you would like to add in the meantime that you maybe thought of afterwards, Dr. Maloszek?
Uh, I would be happy to have some questions, in fact, because
Okay.
that would give me a hint
Okay.
of what is interesting for the audience.
Well, we have the question, what is the easiest way to find English instruction programs on the website? This is she's an, Karen Lindsay asked that question. She says she's an exchange partner and students want to both learn German and get credits elsewhere. Do you have a search function on your website where they can find the English instruction programs?
You have the full list of English
Okay.
instructed programs on the central side of university, but we offer it on our faculty side as well. So if you open our faculty site and go to international, you will find the offer right away, international degree programs.
Hmm. And if you're interested in generally speaking international degree programs in Germany, in that region or maybe also elsewhere, to see what's available, you can Google DAAD International Programs, and that will lead you to a database where you will also find the programs from the Friedrich Alexander University, and it has a database where you can filter degree programs offered for on the bachelor's level, on the master's level, PhD level. but also for summer courses, for example, or language courses. So that's a very good database compiled by DAAD that you can use. Um, all right. Next question we have. The Friedrich Alexander University is a large university of about 39,000 students. And someone asked if Dr. Maluszek, if you could share an approximate percentage of the international student population. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Do you have those numbers?
It's about 10, 12%
Yeah.
for the university as a whole.
Yeah, yeah, and this is also the percentage overall in Germany. In Germany, there are at this point about 10 to 12% of international students studying in Germany, and just to stress that what that means. So this is on the one hand, of course, it's a very vibrant. Study culture and where you can share really experiences from students from all over the world, and I think that's a great atmosphere to study. But as you pointed out, Dr. Maluszek, it's not just that you have that environment in the classroom, but that you have the structures available on campus to help you, the international office to help you if you have any questions about being a student in Germany, but also when it comes to other questions regarding like where to find housing, how to apply for the visa. And this is actually something that you will do in Germany if you are a US or Canadian citizen. You will not apply for a visa while you are in the United States or Canada. You will enter as a tourist, and then within the first few weeks you will apply in Germany, and you will find information on the consulate's website. But you will also find that information on the DAAD.de website, but the international offices also have that information available for you. Now, another question, how difficult do most U.S. master's students find the master's level work in Germany? What difficulties do you see U.S. students having? Do you have any insight on the experiences that U.S. students have, and maybe also information that they're share that is maybe different from the U.S. to Germany?
Okay. There are some difficulties for international students. Mostly that means for Chinese or Indian students who have an absolutely different culture of education, who learn by heart, who don't have a problem with plagiarism. They don't call it like that. They have problems, but US students normally don't have problems. Specific problems. It's quite easy to cope with the system we have here. It's a lot of library work. You have to be well organized, self-dependent. You choose to program. You have to write classworks of 15 to 20 pages at the end of seminar normally. You have examinations orally and written. It's the whole range, from US universities to just in a little other shape, but quite similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I think on the master's level, you really when you compare the U.S. and Germany, it is quite similar, and then it really, I would say it largely also depends on the professor. You may have experience from the U.S. already that on the bachelor's level, maybe on the master's level too, that you have a class from a professor where the professor expects a lot of you, and there's a lot of work to be done during the semester. You have to read a lot, you have to submit a lot, and then there may be other classes that may not be as work intensive. And I think it's very similar to Germany, where really it depends on the professors. But as Dr. Maluszek pointed out, really the big difference. There is not a really big difference between the U.S. and Canada, and if you are an independent student, and this is definitely something that is a difference from the US system to the German system is that German students in general are expected to be more independent, but even in the US, on the master's level, students are supposed to be proactive, be independent, and take care of what needs to be done, and do their work independently. So really, there is not a general big difference between the US and Germany. All right. Are there any more questions at this point? I already pointed out you have our email addresses there. Um, Feel free to get in touch with me if you have questions about studying in Germany in general, about anything that you may want to know. I'm also in the US, so it's maybe easier to also get a hold of me. If you go to our DAAD.org website, you also find information how you get in touch via phone. And then, of course, you see here Dr. Maloshek's email address. And if you have any questions, afterwards, do feel free to get in touch with her as well. Any last words that you would like to say, Dr. Maloshek, before we close this webinar? Dr. Maloshek?
Sorry. Excuse me.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to maybe say one final comment to our audience before I close the webinar.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here, for attending this webinar. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I hope you understood me right. And I'm looking forward to your questions by mail.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for presenting Friedrich-Alexander University, Erlangen-Nürnberg. I think those who attended have now a pretty good overview of what to expect at the university, but also outside of the university. So thank you very much for that. Since you're in Germany, have a very good evening, and thank you to our audience. And stay in touch via email, and check out our Facebook pages and Twitter for upcoming webinars in the future. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.